Hi there, welcome to the Benson and Hedges Test and World Series Golden Catches. I'm Tony Greig, and over the next 30 minutes, I'd like to show you some of cricket's greatest catches. In these examples, the catch is far more than someone grasping for a cricket ball. It is at one extreme, an athletic sprint to save a boundary, and at the other, a split-second reflex action. The cricket ball can be a dangerous projectile, especially when travelling at more than 100 kilometres an hour. While most people would run and hide when faced with some of the great bowlers and batsmen, first-class cricketers will do almost anything to catch that ball. Catches win matches, or so the saying goes, and this collection showcases some of the very best catches from the Benson and Hedges Test and World Series matches played around Australia. I've been fortunate enough to witness all of these games, and I can testify to the commitment and determination of all those involved. From the players who work so hard entertaining us all, to the Aussie spectators who really are the best crowds in the world, and our sponsors who make it all possible. The game of cricket has never been more popular than it is today, and that atmosphere, that feeling of excitement, is all captured here. I'd like you to sit back now and enjoy our selection of golden catches. And by the way, at the end of this program, I'll be presenting my selection of the best 5 catches. So why don't you see if you can pick them out along the way? Give each catch a mark out of 10. Let's start by looking back at the early years.
He's hit that well. What a magnificent catch! A screamer! Kepler Vessels picking up a screamer at backward square leg. He really hit that Desmond Haynes. Pulled the ball away, backward a square leg, and Kepler's a Brisbane hero.
What can you say is a short ball pulled around very well by Desmond Haynes with a left-handed, one-handed diving catch which can only be termed as absolutely magnificent. Great catch.
He's taken it. What a magnificent catch by Ian Botham. Superbly taken. Even Felix around is applauding the catch.
Felix around hitting that on drive, that straight drive, very hard indeed. Ian Botham bowling through, which is always very difficult. Keeps his eye on the ball and lunges with that left hand outstretched and grasps a tremendous. There it is in the deep. And Graham Yallop. What a great catch! A magnificent catch by Graham Yallop. It was hard to pick up. He didn't pick it up for a moment. When Sarfraz is out, that was a magnificent catch, just inches from the ground by Graham Yallop.
I think the feature of this catch was the fact that Yallop anticipated it very well and was already speeding in as Sarfraz slashed outside the off stump. The ball went in the air skimmingly towards deep third man, and Yallop coming in, dived forward, elongated himself, and came up with the catch. So that's the second great catch that Yallop has brought off in this innings. And now the 6th wicket is down with 604 on the board.
And what a great catch. There's been some marvellous catching today. 2 by Viv Richards. Nothing you could ever see better than that by Alan Knott. Starting down the leg side and finally taking it alongside Clive Lloyd's left boot.
Oh, what a great catch. What a start. A really super catch there from Kim Hughes, who got into the match yesterday with 99 and now has taken a marvellous catch.
And notice how this ball's going down. And look at that late reaction from Hughes, who just manages to get a hand underneath it.
That's a beautiful take. What a marvellous take. That's a great combination from the pair who've done so wonderfully well for Australia over the years. Lily to Marsh. One of the best combinations we've ever had in this country. Dilip Vensarkar falls to Dennis.
Caught him, what the catch! the catch of the season without doubt. And what a game for Bruce Yardley, a ripper. One of the best gully catches you'll ever see.
That ball was hit, and it was hit very hard indeed. And it sped like a bullet into the gully position. And just watch Yardley's reaction. I call it reaction, it was a reflex. With his diving away to his right, high, and he really must hardly have seen that ball. For Greenwich, the score of 66 in the first innings is out.
It's in the air, he's caught him, what a catch! What a catch! Greenwich at mid-wicket, threw himself to the left. Took a beauty.
Well, I've seen Gordon Greenwich take a couple of catches like that, and that was one that Australia didn't need. Rodney Marsh again going for Malcolm Marshall, lofting it away, his favourite shot away there on the onside, and that is a goalkeeper's take. Gordon Greenwich, a delighted bowler Malcolm Marshall rushing over to congratulate him.
Great catch. What a superb piece of cricket. He couldn't afford to take his eyes off it and see if he was going to dive into the stumps. It was a very courageous piece of catching that. And it's given Dennis Lilly his first wicket. It's also taken the fieldsman, Bruce Laird, off the field. He'll have skinned his arms there when he's looking for the hook shot. It was on him quickly. And look at this catch, a great catch. Catching it inches above the ground, just missing the stumps, and an elated Dennis Lilly and Bruce Laird, and the end of a good innings from Gordon Greenwich.
Okay. How about that, some great memories? Now let's take a look at some of the more recent games and some of the great catches from the outfield. These catches are never as easy as they look. There are all sorts of problems. The crowd is a background, and of course the red ball or the white ball all of a sudden appears. Then, of course, there's the sun. If the ball gets up there in the sun, very difficult. The lights all around most of our grounds these days. And the tough one, when the wind swirls around, the ball's up there, and you've got to time it to perfection. It's not easy.
Sliced away on the offside. Augustine Logie, and a marvellous catch he's taken out there. The little fella really is a good fielder, and that was a well-judged catch.
Well, the last ball of the over, and David Hookes going for the big hit, and that was a magnificent catch out a deep forward point. Logie had to look into the hill. It wouldn't have been easy. The background would have been very difficult for him. He's only a small man. He got up off the ground, fell back, and clutched onto it. And what a relieved Gus Logie it is. And all the West Indians over to him in jubilation. So David Hookes out for 35, and Australia struggling at 6 for 164.
That'll be safe, I think. No. Getting underneath it, and a good catch. Stephen Waugh, the man at point. It looked like it was going over his head at one stage, but he got back and made ground very quickly and took an excellent catch.
It certainly was, Ian. It was beautifully judged. He never seemed to panic. He kept his eye on the ball, and 25,000 Melburnians stand to cheer an excellent catch. Baseball getting a top edge. Stephen Waugh running with it as a baseballer would. Didn't have time to turn around. Slipped a little bit. Kept his eye on the ball and took a great catch. That's a classic catch in 86. A beauty.
Beautiful catch. Magnificently caught. Shastri has dismissed Porter. Kapildev, the skipper, at square leg, has taken it with consummate ease. It was very, very firmly struck. The border is gone. Good Kapildev bowled Shastri.
Malcolm Marshall, and he gets plenty of bat on that. That's what a catch! That's as good as Henry's. The big man far. Like John Coleman took off and pulled down the ball, and that was for all money.
That's in the air and fantastically caught by Valletta, forward of point. That is a freak catch. Embry. Oh, and what a magnificent catch. One-hander.
He took a blinder to get rid of Alan Border in the Test match. That was something else. He judged it perfectly for a moment or two, and then suddenly the ball was going over his head and would have bounced just in front of the pickets. Marvellous catch. Well, that is great judgment and skill, perfecting the skills you've practiced for so long.
Oh, what a catch! What a catch! Peter Taylor. If Australia win this first final, that will be the instant they'll look back on.
That was well hit by Srikanth, but Peter Taylor was at full stretch with the right hand. He could only go for it with one hand because he wouldn't have got that high with two. And what a terrific effort that is.
That's it. It's high. It's miles in the air. Hughes is coming around. And so it's a what catch! That's the greatest catch. Oh, unbelievable. Stephen Waugh running backwards, almost colliding with Hughes down there and the side screen. What a catch.
Probably the best outfield catch you've ever seen.
Our next set of catches are all from close to the wicket. Here the important requirements are finely honed reflex actions. It's not really easy. Sometimes fieldsmen are very, very close, and it takes a split second for the ball to arrive.
What a marvellous catch. He took one on this ground to end the New Zealanders' innings in the Test match.
Beautifully taken. What a magnificent catch. It's all been happening. And Healy inspires the Australians once again.
That was a magnificent catch. Inside edges are always tough for the keeper.
It's out. What a magnificent catch! A ripper. Jeff Howarth diving to his right. One of the catches of the season to date. The New Zealand skipper delighted. The New Zealanders have been absolutely brilliant in the field today at the Marble Cricket Ground.
Jeff Howarth, he's not sure whether to really burst out laughing or to make sure that he hasn't split the webbing in his hand again, but that really goes down as one of the best catches I've seen in that sort of position in front of the wicket.
Oh, what a catch!
Watch him get off the ground here. It's really smashed hard at him and in his fingertips. Alan Border enjoyed that too. That really was a tremendous catch.
Well, what a marvellous catch. Steve Waugh wasn't quite sure what had happened to it. The West Indian players didn't know because it was encased in that great hand belonging to Curtly Ambrose.
It's gone. He's caught him. What a ripper. The last over before lunch. Gower crashing and Greg Chappell, that master slip clearsman, threw out the left hand and takes up a classic catch. And what a breakthrough for Australia. Disaster for England as the players leave the ground for lunch. And Greg Chappell taking one of the all-time great catches, dismissing David Gower off the bowling of Lawson. And the crowd have gone mad at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Tremendous judgment by Chappell. Kim Hughes there, delighted, hugging his captain, as well he might, as England are 6 for 169.
Well, they don't come any better than that. That was going nearly to a second slip position. Greg Chappell, the solitary slip, got across there on the left hand. We've seen his versatility with the right hand in Melbourne, and then going with the left hand. And what a catch, and well worked Jeff Lawson again. Greg Chappell probably thinking about going to lunch, not anticipating that David Gower would go for the big shot. He went for it, and what a great catch.
Vessels, out, what a catch! Gunning at first, that brings off a beauty.
And the English contingent in the crowd rise to their feet. Union Jacks wave. And Vessels departs thinking, well, if Gadding can catch these sort of chances, then perhaps he should have a go at Swallows.
It's in the air. What a catch! Magnificent catch there by Alan Border. Well, he's been standing in that position, waiting for an opportunity to make a contribution. And what a catch it was. Gilbert got the edge. Border went full length to his left, and he caught it in the end of his fingers. It's a magnificent catch by Alan Border. Took the Australian captain to get it. He'd just taken Hilditch away from that third slip position, so he had to go after it. Reid not moving the feet, but Alan Border airborne. He had to go one hand to try and get that little bit extra distance. But isn't he elated as he holds on to it? How brilliant. Isn't that one of the most brilliant things you've seen? The skipper has hurled himself away to the right and taken a sensational catch. Oh, what a good catch. What a magnificent piece of cricket, and full marks to Geoffrey Lawson there for dismissing Mohsin Khan, the man in form and just one away from 150. But a super catch. His body all off the ground.
It was indeed, because Mohsin Khan flashed at that very hard. And look how Phillips came across there and surprised even Alan Border by taking the catch virtually out of Border's mouth.
Oh, and has he caught it? He has, and he's given him, no, yes, he's nodding, he's given him out. Well, that was a magnificent catch by Gus Logie. He's taken one or two straightforward ones, but that really was a beautiful catch. It must have been a very thin inside edge, hit the pad, went forward, and Logie, who's really very quick, had to dive way to his left to pick that one up. A lovely catch. He's got him, well caught, beautifully taken. What a catch that was. The ball hit back very firmly to Matthews. He dived away to his right. And boy, he doesn't make mistakes when he gets return catches. He's been magnificent in the field all match. And he only needs half a chance. He got it on that occasion and made no mistake.
Botham. Out! Short leg's taken a beauty. He didn't really go perfect, but he was very close. That is a superb catch. And the second wicket to Peter Taylor, that of Ian Botham.
Well, what a fairy tale beginning for Peter Taylor. He gutsed it out with the bat. One wicket, that of Lamb, and now the mighty Botham. Well, he must have wanted to choke the ball a bit when he was bowling to the master blaster.
Tremendous catch on the rebound. An edge low down. He dropped it at second slip. And out it popped.
Magnificent catch taken there.
And gone this time. McDermott doesn't make any mistake. Good catch because he's a tall man and he had to get right down to the ground to take that catch.
Out! What a catch! Magnificent catch by Boone. The second time in this series. He's brought off a miracle catch at forward short leg.
Oh, what a good catch. What a brilliant catch at first slip. It was the quicker one, and it went fine off the edge of Merv Hughes' bat, and Prabhakar has taken a brilliant catch on the left hand.
Beautifully taken. What a magnificent catch.
And brilliantly taken by Alan Border. So what a catch to join Colin Cowdrey. A magnificent catch there by Border.
Oh, he's gone in, yes. The wicketkeeper missed it, taken by Smith. Fine effort by Mark Taylor. It went through Ian Healy, and Taylor did the rest. A superb catch.
That is a great, great catch. It deflected off the keeper. His left hand went out, and that was the end of that. Time now to show you my favourite five. The first one occurred right here on the Sydney Cricket Ground. Sometimes catches are a little different. They come when you're not expecting them.
Tremendous catch on the rebound. An edge low down. He dropped it at second slip. And out it popped.
So there we are. Sometimes it takes teamwork to pull off a marvellous catch. Now, one of Australia's greatest catches. All of a sudden, a hand appeared. It's in the air. What a catch! Magnificent catch there by Alan Border. Well, he's been standing in that position, waiting for an opportunity to make a contribution. And what a catch it was. Gilbert got the edge. Border went full length to his left, and he caught it in the end of his fingers.
It's a magnificent catch by Alan Border. Took the Australian captain to get it. He'd just taken Hilditch away from that third slip position, so he had to go after it. Reid not moving the feet, but Alan Border airborne. He had to go one hand to try and get that little bit extra distance.
If you're really good, it can be as easy as that. Now, when you're at forward short leg, sometimes you can stand there all day, and then all of a sudden, one flashes in your direction.
Out! What a catch! Magnificent magnificent catch by Boom. The second time in this series, he's brought off a miracle catch at forward short leg.
That was a magnificent catch.
There's an example of tremendous reflex action. Now, my favourite, Stephen Waugh. The ball's high, huge crowd, vital time in the game. A colleague, mind you, coming in and almost colliding with you, the side screen in the way, the crowd roaring, and then this magnificent catch. That's it, it's high, it's miles in the air. Hughes is coming around, and so it's a catch! What a catch! That's the greatest catch! Oh, unbelievable, Stephen Waugh, running backwards, almost colliding with Hughes down there, and the side screen. What a catch.
Probably the best outfield catch you've ever seen.